What are red flags in a friendship most people brush away? Friends who are always happy to talk about themselves but never once ask you how you're doing or anything engaging you to talk about yourself. Being dismissive of all your interests and achievements. Meanwhile everything they do, no matter how mundane, is amazing. Continually feeling like you want to say something but should hold your tongue. Always asking for favors but never there when you need them to return one. You see you got a private message from them and your gut reaction is to start getting nervous or anxious. What is it this time? They only talk to you when all of their other friends are gone. Inability or unwillingness to apologize when he or she does something wrong. It's symptomatic of an ego issue that will eventually infect every aspect of your friendship. They call you only when they need you. Friends that don't let you have any other friends and require 100% of your time when they can't give you the same. They don't ask about you. They just turn every conversation about themselves. When you talk about exams they don't ask you how you did, they just talk about themselves. When you talk about not sleeping well they talk about how they didn't sleep. When you tell them you broke up with your so they talk about their so etc. When they push other people out of the friend group. It happened in my group where there were 5 of us. She joined and basically bullied 3 out of the group. But it wasn't obvious bullying. A lot of things change. Next thing I know I'm being treated like it to the point I hate myself. Me and my friend managed to leave and make friends with the original 5 again. The one that kicked everyone out is very social and no one RLY likes her BC. She's not nice but she's now found herself with no friends. Friends who gossip excessively. If they're talking about other people, chances are they're talking about you. One-upper friends. My best friend in high school once specifically requested for me to post a picture of us for National Best Friend Day, or some similar holiday. I asked if she'd be posting a picture of us too. No, I have a lot of best friends, but I'm your main best friend so you should post a picture of us, was her response. The next couple years were full of backstabbing and gaslighting, complete with occasional fallings out until we finally stopped speaking. Looking back, I can't believe I didn't see it coming. I've got a friend who loves to talk about himself. Everything is always about him. So, when I'm out with my friends and he's in our group we created a game where you have to drink every time he starts a conversation about himself. It's made it a lot more tolerable. Edit. To those of you who think we do it behind his back, I never said we do. It's something we've talked about with him plenty of times and he's aware of. He's not a bad guy at all. It's just how he is. He also doesn't mean anything bad by it. He's aware we do it. We are all just super close so we've just made a game out of it and now he often catches himself doing it. Edit 2. Yes. He will drink with us. As I mentioned he now catches himself often and will realize it and be like then we will all laugh and drink together. I'm also not saying I'm perfect. Far from it and we've got games and jokes about me as well. Reading through this is making my heart sink with realization. Passive aggressive insults to other friends. Friends who constantly call you for advice but never take it and continue to involve you in their drama. If you're not going to make moves to improve your situation, stop asking me for help. Reading these comments are helping to calm my anxieties about whether or not I'm a good friend. So thanks for that y'all. Friends that aren't happy for your success and happiness, but are very close when you're sad. They never say anything supportive of you, but they will point to your flaws, and can't wait to burn you, because it's funny, to them, and then the follow up of "you're too sensitive, it's just joking." When you hang out with them it feels like you're defusing a bomb when there's nothing going on right then. Edit. Why is my highest rated comment about the one friend I gave up on due to his need to yell at me over the smallest things? But seriously I didn't expect so many people to have this problem too. Thought I was the only one who didn't realize this right away. The ones who create and constantly dominate group chats. Edit. I mean when they act like the alpha dog, or that you're privileged to be in their chat, or like they're the final word on anything posted in it. If you think about them when you read this post. Really jealous and possessive friends. I'm a jealous person by nature. And even though my jealousy flares up when I see my friends hanging out with other people, I would never let them know. Why? Because I don't want them to feel bad about doing the things they love. Having a social life outside my little world. If a person tries to box you up because they want you all to themselves, it's not a proof of love or companionship. True love, in any kind of relationship like friends, family, lovers, is shown by respect and allowing the other person to have free will. Good vibes only friends. That mentality is fine to have with yourself, but you can't force that on others. My best friend adopted this attitude, and from then on, whenever I would come to her for support or advice on an issue I was having, she'd cut me off and say, good vibes only. Remember? Because I was bringing her down. I put up with it for a long time because I thought she was right, that I was burdening her. But then I finally realized that that's not how real friends act. They're supposed to support and help each other. Edit. Thank you for the silver. And many people are bringing up how some people set up boundaries because they are going through something themselves and can't help someone else at the moment, or that the person will only come to them for negative things. I completely agree. Neither extreme is a healthy friendship. Friends that constantly hit you. Friends who are good to you in one-on-one but constantly put you down in group settings. This is a big sign of insecurity, jealousy. Other signs: inappropriate attention-seeking behaviors, trying to twist the situation on you when confronted about things, not respecting your boundaries, is super friendly with new people but in a disingenuous I wanna be liked the most way, constant gaslighting, getting mad at you for not going by the exact same moral playbook as them. When in group settings they get really uncomfortable and try to change the subject or put you down extra if attention is on you. Acting they can take constructive feedback but actually taking it out on you in small ways throughout the rest of the day. Edit. Thanks for all the upvotes and the silver. Wish you all the best of luck in ridding yourselves of toxic friendships. Don't go wasting your time on people who don't treat you with the respect you deserve. Controlling, manipulative friends that try to change you rather than accepting you as you are. When they cancel plans, they always do it last minute. I have friends like this, but it prevents them from being good friends. Having to censor yourself. I have friends with different religious political beliefs that I think are absolutely insane. I don't endorse what they say, but I just keep my mouth shut, because I know they wouldn't be okay with it, and the purpose of these friendships usually revolve around sports music. When you can't trust a damn word they say, or any promise they make to you, you know you don't have a good friend. If you have had a friend for a long time, but you only seem to be able to talk about memories in the past, each time you get together or exchange messages, it's remember in high school, or remember that time when, could be a sign that you both have grown apart and do not have much in common today that you can connect on. Edit. Thanks for the great responses. I am an old and not used to so many great comments. Is it ridiculous to thank people for comments? Yes, probably. I digress. I should have clarified I mentioned below that fondly reminiscing about the past, crazy stories, inside jokes, those are the foundation of any solid long-term friendship. It's when that is only the extent of your communication that I think it becomes a red flag. I look at it from this perspective: if you were to have an intimate discussion on your future hopes, goals, or just confiding in each other, would it feel forced, awkward, or just unnatural? If so, it's likely because you both can't relate to one another. That's when I think it's a red flag. Art's question is great. It's a red flag that most people ignore because it doesn't seem like a red flag until you really analyze and think about the depth of the conversation you are consistently having. Friends that only care to talk about their own success and aren't genuinely happy for you and yours unless it amounts to less than their own. This is subtle and a bit counterintuitive, but beware of the rescue martyr. The person that's always rushing out to help and give everyone else their all, whether or not it's needed or whether the recipient is comfortable with it. They are good people, very well intentioned and saintly in their generosity with their time and energy. However, sometimes it goes to the extreme, and then it's more a symptom of a toxic cycle where they only get meaning and self-worth when they are saving someone. Or maybe they keep swooping into other people's lives to fix things in hopes that someone will do the same for them. They may have good intentions but they tend not to have good boundaries. They get over involved in your life, take on way too much and make everyone's problems their own. They end up overwhelmed, mired in drama, and resentful, and then they become the martyr. The problem with being friends with this type of person is that you're not in an equal friendship where you like each other, enjoy spending time with each other, and when there happen to be downs, you support each other through them. It's more like you're a project. Everyone's a project, and once you stop being a project you're now support, not just for them and their own problems, but part of the fire brigade for their other projects, which they've internalized as their own problems and drama. If they post about having a bad day but never answer anyone asking why, friend FK this day, I'm so sick of this. 5 different people in comments, what happened? Friend message me, nothing, or no response. You decide to message, you get, just had a bad day, and then nothing, or get nothing at all. Or they tell you they'll tell you later. They won't tell you later. Chances are absolutely nothing actually happened. When you realize that you are more yourself when they are not around. Edit. Wow. Didn't expect my comments to get this much attention. And thanks for the silver. You'll gladly do a favor for them or help them out. But when you need something, they won't do it. And act like you're ridiculous for asking. Also when friends don't respect boundaries. Edit. Thanks for the upvotes. I think this whole concept of red flags is misleading though. For the most part. Nobody is perfect and as human beings we're not one thing or another. We're complicated messes. You just have to accept people in their entirety. Or not. I wouldn't ever take one red flag and think it makes someone suspect or a bad friend. I'd just accept that's one singular thing about them that wasn't to my tastes. But they may have other traits which make them a wonderful friend. When they pressure you to do things for them, or a certain way, and act like you were on board the whole time. Coercion. They say they are holding you accountable to something you never wanted in the first place. Gaslighting. They take the high road when you get angry because they won't respect your boundaries. Play the victim. Friends that are a one-way street. I was always the one to message, call, or make plans with them. I was always the one to check up on them to see if they were okay. I always offered a helping hand and be there for them. I decided to stop to see if they would reach out to me, but we never spoke to me again. Oh, well. When they refuse to validate you, compliment you, when you tell them your accomplishment or something you're proud of, they reply with what they did to devalue your thing. A friend of mine has been making fun of me for years. Just made fun of me whenever I said anything, even if I was serious. Didn't realize how much it's affected my self-esteem until I actually got really angry at her for something else and no longer considered her a friend. Also, she's mentally unstable. Now that's okay, and as her friends we want to help her with that, but she's not giving us a chance to do so. She just flips her it and expects everyone to adapt to her. The real problem is that she hasn't changed. The same, it's been happening for years and she is apparently not trying to work on herself in that regard. Still expecting us to just accept whatever BS she throws at us. So duck her. Friends that makes jokes at the expense of you. They choose where and when to meet for plans without your input, then act entitled if you are busy or simply can't meet their demands. Friends that are always on their phones when you make the effort to hang out with them. Someone who is all nice, great, attentive, supportive, etc. when you are alone but acts differently when other people are around. Don't make excuses for your friend. This is 100% uncool. At the very least, it shows some bad insecurities on their part. At worst, it's a sign they are genuinely using you. Personally, I've always had bad experiences with people who say everyone is their best friend. When my best friend in high school started calling 10 different people including me her best friend, that was when I knew I was just an accessory, and she was trying to surround herself with people to love her. If you tell your friend that you like a person and you two are hanging out, then out of nowhere they start to talk to the person 24/7 and then tell you that they like the person and gets jealous if anyone else starts to talk to that person. Pretty toxic to me, but yeah. Edit. Thanks for the silver, it's my first time getting one. If the only jokes they're able to make are ones that make fun of other people, it's always a ticking time bomb with people like this, and one day they'll suddenly turn against you without warning. Having to comply with someone's opinion that you don't believe in. If you find yourself not getting along in an everyday way, that's a flag. When they ditch you the moment they start dating someone. They're constantly on their phone messaging people or talk about people they speak to, but can never seem to reply to your messages. Someone who listens to gossip about you and doesn't shut it down. Friends who encourage you to do self-destructive things because it makes them feel better about their own lives. They try to correct your personal preferences for you, bully you out of liking certain clothing, music, foods, art, etc. They'll often frame it as if they are doing you a favor. It's a sign of emotional immaturity when people treat others like play objects rather than human beings. Having their damn phone in their face the whole time. If they do that, they don't want a friend. They want company. It's not the same. You will say sorry for everything and flighter words so you don't offend them. Being flaky. Nobody is that busy for a 2-second text to cancel plans or to not even agree to them at all. Lie about weird or unimportant stuff. Friends that are constantly late. Conditional friendship. We're friends until I question you in the slightest way, and if I do, the relationship is tanked. Source. Happened to me yesterday. Goodbye duck. Friends who stay friends with people who traumatized you. Never-ending own-upmanship. You're not their friend. You're their ego crutch. When they try to heavily influence what you like. Had a friend who almost had a mental breakdown cause I wasn't playing Minecraft with default controls. It's legit annoying as duck, and there's a difference between being funny about it and then just being straight up mental about it. No to sound morbid, but one day, I'm gonna die and I don't wanna spend my life giving a shit about stuff that nobody cares about. Making a personality out of this tray is incredibly childish. They push you to the side once they get a significant other. Not so much a red flag, but one of the most annoying traits a friend can have is being cheap. Constantly skipping out on their round in the pub or never chipping in for the taxi. Just being miserable with money. It's an awful trait, and to be honest, saving a few $sign by being cheap will cost you your friends in most cases. Friends that never sound genuine when they talk about anything. Where they always sound like they're putting on a mask. Friends that spontaneously invite you to do something at the last minute, which I do like, but then you have to turn them down because you already have other plans, and so you ask for a rain check, and they take it personally. It's even more frustrating when they don't ask you to do anything with them again. Friends who say they'll help you out, but bail when you reach out. Friends who forget to invite you or text you back about events, parties. Friends who undermine what you say in group settings. That is, you tell a story or make a comment and they correct you in some way. If she starts dressing like you, hide your puppy. I used to brush away people's blatant racism and using words that I wasn't comfortable with. I no longer do that, but it was hard to gain enough courage to say something. When you're with a whole group, but you're the one being brushed aside and not being included in conversations. Friends who guilt trip you for never hanging out with them but always flake at the last minute when you do plan to meet. When they only want to talk to you when it's convenient for them. Just realize this is happening to me. You leave their presence feeling worse about yourself. Mostly because they will have an excuse for what they say. When you ask them for anything they are busy. But they will demand things from you. Most people also brush away that they will demand a lot of attention. Repeatedly have to put effort into maintaining the friendship. Understandable if someone is busy, but it gets to a point when it just becomes a one-sided relationship. When they leave you on read and don't answer your question. Giving you random gifts to make up for sustained dirty behavior and making friendship transactional. Like, I don't want your junk, I want you to quit being an ass. The bastard that sends Kirby porn in the group chat. When they ask you for money. Friends who drop you when they get into a relationship or have a crush. having to be the one to always initiate contact or set plans. If you're giving 100% to the friendship and they're giving you 0, it's time to move on. Hey guys, not a red flag but reminder to be that excellent friend to your buddies. Tell them you love them when you're done talking. Love is an important part of friendship. I tell all my friends I love them, guys and girls. They are the family I chose to have. So I choose to let them know what they mean to me. Text or call them whenever you think of them. Anything is better than nothing. And chances are they've been thinking of you too. Root for them in their personal and work lives. You want to see your friends and their families happy and successful, right? Tell them they deserve the promotion. Or help get them hyped about their new project. Be honest with them when you need help. And when they ask you for it. But even more importantly, be there for them. Remind them of their goals and help them find new things to reach for, like a house, a car, or a savings plan for their future children. Talk about your lives in meaningful ways. My best friend and I have known each other since kindergarten. Now we're both 26 and I'm incredibly grateful for his friendship and companionship over all of those years. Help your friends. Love them. Be kind to them. Challenge them. Introduce them to new things. And don't give up on them. The friends that if you call, text them first. Or invite them out. You never talk or hang out at all. Edit. I'm alluding to the thoughtlessness of these types. If you can't respond or reach out first to people, this doesn't apply to you. Just, at least communicate with those other people so they understand and don't feel horrible on their side of the friendship too.